Kyle Glaser with Baseball America here, coming to you live from Dodger Stadium. We're here with Dodgers All-Star outfielder Joc Pederson. Before he reached the bigs, though, Joc was a standout at Palo Alto High School, played in the 2009 area code games. Joc, what are your memories of playing in the area code games as a high schooler?
It's pretty special. It's something that my dad always talked about growing up. Is like that'd be a huge accomplishment, you know. All the pro scouts, all the college scouts that you could imagine, all full at Blair Stadium in Long Beach. It was something that I worked really hard at. I tried out as a sophomore. I didn't make it, and I ended up making it as a junior, and it was a pretty awesome experience. Probably the best showcase that I participated in. I remember it was sponsored by Nike at the time, and you get a big bag full of cleats, turfs, batting gloves, a bag, and they treated you really well. I was a part of the Brewers team. Made some friends, played against some great players. It was a pretty cool experience. The best high schoolers in the nation, all competing, playing against each other, and it was a fun time.
Yeah, you mentioned all the best high schoolers in the nation. Was that the first time you had played in sort of a national scale event like that, playing against the best of the best from all over the country?
Absolutely. I didn't really do much of the perfect game showcases and the tournament of stars, so this was like my only I guess national event, and I mean there were so many players there that are in the big leagues right now. I remember Bryce Harper was there, Aaron Sanchez, he was on the Brewers team, Christian Yelich, Austin Wilson, Corey Hahn. There's, a ton of. It was a very talented class that I got to participate in.
You know, being a part of a group of players like that, was that sort of raise the awareness to, like, hey, I can compete at this level, and really show you how you competed against, the best of the best?
Absolutely. You know, I think it was like a week long, and you get to take BP, and you hear about all this, like these scouting reports of all these so-called top prospects, and you get to kind of see how you match up against them. So, like I said, it was kind of my only national stage stuff, and first time I realized that I can hang with them, and I'm just as skilled.
So, who was the recommending scout that first got you on the path? You mentioned you started as a sophomore. Was it your dad, or how did that come about?
Yeah, my dad has quite a few connections, and people came to him or whatever and wanted to. My dad, he coached high school when I was little, and he took some guys that he thought were prospects, and he tried to get them recruited and into the area code games. So he's very familiar with it, and it's all wood bat, so it's the best. To me, I think it's the best showcase that is put on for high schoolers.
Was there a specific moment that you remember from that week there, a specific matchup with a pitcher or a game event that really sticks out in your mind even through today?
I want to say, I think it was like my first at bat. I think I had like 2 strikes. Guy was throwing like 95. I remember just swinging basically as hard as I can to try to catch up, and I hit a rocket like right down the foul line, third base, and it was fair for a double, and started the week off strong like that.
Do you remember who the pitcher was?
I have no idea, but yeah, I think I ended up being able to get a couple more hits and finished up making the all area code team. So that was another step where it made me feel like I could belong. I wasn't necessarily the highest ranked or top prospect. Well, I don't know what you call it back then, but I was still able to compete with some of the better players.
You mentioned going out there and it's just, wall-to-wall scouts, recruiters. I mean, it really seems it's the central event for all those guys coming to one place. Seeing that many evaluators in one spot, were there any nerves, or what was that like, just seeing so many guys who you knew, all their eyes were on you?
Absolutely. I mean, you're hitting BP in front of every pro scout, multiple scouts from the same team, same college, 3 or 4 coaches. So it's you want to do your best, and it's I guess part of being an athlete, slowing down and sticking to what got you there, and being able to square up the ball and show off what you got.
After participating in the area code games, did you see an uptick in interest from scouts or various other talent evaluators contacting you?
Absolutely. Yeah, and then after that I had basically scouts at all my games for the rest of my high school career. And yeah, I mean, sometimes one scout or sometimes 30, so yeah, definitely a lot more. I was on the radar.
Prior to the area code games, were there ever scouts at your games, or not so much?
Not really. Yeah, not really.
You were drafted in the 11th round out of high school by the Dodgers. Was it fair to say that the area code games was kind of what got you on their radar in the first place, and led to all this, kind of the first step?
Yeah. I mean, the first step, yeah, getting my name out there in front of all the scouts, I think is a good way to put it.
Obviously you mentioned a lot of the guys you played against in the games are in the majors. When you see guys like Bryce Harper and Christian Yelich, do you guys ever get together and talk about, the memories of playing in the area code games?
Never. Not really. We talk about our summer teams, I think, more. I mean, the ABD Bulldogs, I think they had like 40 first-rounders on their team in the year I played against them. Michael Lorenzen, Tony Walters, Christian Lopes, Austin Wilson, Steven Sable, Yelich. I mean, there's so many first-rounders that, I mean, it was the most talented team I've ever played against.
Absolutely. Looking back on that experience, actually, let me rephrase this. For kids coming into the area code games today, maybe like you hadn't had a ton of exposure beforehand, this is their first chance to really get that exposure. What advice would you give younger players coming up about that chance to participate?
This is the only chance you need. Everyone's there. All the scouts are there, so if you're somebody, you won't get there's enough eyes that there'll be someone out there that likes you, so you don't need to spend all your money. It's free. That's the other thing too, so it's in my opinion, the number one showcase that will put you on the radar.
Absolutely. All right, well, I think that'll pretty much do it here from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. For Joc Pederson, I'm Kyle Glaser. Thanks for tuning in, folks.